100s and 50s and 20s, no fives and no singles, don't count on them. Hey, she wanted like me cause her like she can count on him. She tried to be nosy and hit on my ex, she like, girl, you can count on him. Hey, we need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, like them keep a score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, what a point to guard.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the Indianapolis Colts. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. His first carry. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now a give right side. Hines. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's 2nd down.
Well, obviously they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. Throwing on 2nd and long. Brissett. He's going to look deep down the field. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Brissett. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. So the punt rolls out of bounds, and they'll have pretty good field position here up near the 40-yard line.
At their own 38-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, it's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Aaron Lynch in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
On the ground with Bryce Love, the former Stanford Cardinal. And not much of an opening there as he's only going to get this to about the 32. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Check, 154. 95.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Being chased out left. Now he'll let it go deep over the middle. And that's caught inside the 35. A great pickup there, 35 yards. And obviously the first down to go along with it.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Well, it certainly appears that in this game, someone has decided they're going to open up their playbook. First quarter, and we see that play. I like their style.
Throwing on 2nd down. Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Jordan Jenkins, he's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Jason Myers for the Seahawk field goal. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. Myers, the AFC's Pro Bowl kicker from a year ago. He was 6 out of 7 from 50-plus last year, and he converts another one here. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now a give, right side. It's Hines. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. He'll have a first down past the 40. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a first down.
Well, partner, if we had their entire playbook in front of us, I'm not sure we would have picked out that play as the one to run in that situation. How about the guts of the offensive coordinator? Dialing that one up into great success.
They'll run on first down. Hines. He's got daylight. The 20. Touchdown, Indianapolis. 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Colts have taken the lead. Of course, he's fresh off the Offensive Player of the Week in the AFC, and what a game it was last week, and a long touchdown run right there.
He and his offensive line, the receivers blocking downfield, they're all in sync right now. Could carry him to a second straight Player of the Week award.
Extra point up and good by Tavecchio, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. Play action. It's Wilson. They'll roll him out right. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A gain there of 21 yards.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. This throw complete. Wilson finding Lockett. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds.
Out of bounds at the 34-yard line.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. Now Wilson. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. Third down. We documented it last week. They played so well defensively. 4 interceptions. Tried to get their hands on another one there.
And when you've had 4 the previous week, you are just itching for more the very next week. And there was a great opportunity. It went by the wayside, but let's not underscore what's going on with this defensive unit. They are around the ball every time it's being put in the air.
The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Now Wilson on first down. It's caught, Lockett. And down inside the 15 he goes. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. On second down now. It's Love. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Here we go.
So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. They'll try the sweep. It's Lockett with it, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make it 2nd and goal. Wilson to the goal line, but it's incomplete. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? On 3rd down, here's Love. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Myers' kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean? Break. Now a hit and a loose football.
As that ball got away from him and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 26-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And the result here the same as the last play. Another tackle behind the line of scrimmage by the Seahawk defense. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Bissett. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. To throw is Wilson. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
First down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st down, here's Love. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. There to stop him was Darius Leonard.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Forced out to his left. He's going to take off with it. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Great coverage there, holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. And the Colts are going to take over, albeit deep in their own territory. First down, Brissett. Looking for Campbell downfield. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Tedrick Thompson picks it.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll start the drive with Love here. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
It's complete to Lockett. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. Wilson now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. Throwing was Wilson. Flush to his right. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. A 3rd field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. To throw again is Wilson. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Well, the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team, and they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping knowing that they are out in front.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. So we have reached halftime here in a tight 2-point contest. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. This is taken at the 3. And a nice job there on special teams as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects.
Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Aaron Lynch, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
No. Switch.
On 2nd down, Love. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Trying the toss play to Love. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Play action. Now Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Wilson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Jordan Jenkins picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
That has to be exactly what they were looking for coming out to start the 3rd quarter. Get a sack, get off the field, get the momentum going in their direction.
Get the ball back to your offense, right? Get that momentum because, hey, this lead is very, very slim. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for it.
Touchdown, Indianapolis! Nyheim Hines, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Colts are going to jump back in front. He's giving them a little jolt, just gave them the lead there, but 2 TDs now in the game.
And that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality as they try to hang on to that lead. This fielded at the 2. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line.
At their own 33-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. And the pressure gets to him again. Jordan Jenkins able to record his 5th sack of the season. They were trying to set up that screen, trying to get that screen to formulate. Took too long.
Ends up taking a sack, and that leads you to a couple of other questions. Number one, why don't you just get rid of the football near the screen, guy, so that you don't take an interception? But really, the big one, they just took everything away, and he was really kind of flummoxed on that play and ended up taking the sack.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description, because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
Well, not a big gain with that play, but what they're doing is they're spreading the defense out, probing a little bit, and what they're hoping probably is that later in the game, they can create a matchup that they can exploit for big yardage later.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike. Stop your bonnet.
On 3rd down, Brissett going deep here for Stills. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field, and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. On 1st down, Love. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Aaron Lynch in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Tyler Lockett. His first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks have once again taken the lead. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2.
Check pass.
And he will not make it to the goal line here. So they'll be unable to bump this lead up to a field goal as it remains a 1-point game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
I'm coming after you. Slam.
Here's Hines. Call it a gain of 2 as time has run out on this third quarter of play.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there.
Check.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Going on the ground with Homer. And from the 4, they get it to the 8 on a pickup of 4. Fourth quarter, holding on to a lead. Fullback carry, 3 or 4 yards. I guess that's what you're looking for.
And it just brings back memories for me because I remember my coaches in this situation. I remember one time my head coach into his headset telling the offensive coordinator, I want the big boy carrying the ball. And that's what you have in this spot. Him covering up on the ball, taking care of it, and grinding out yardage.
And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. So still backed up, but the situation not as dire now. 1st and 10 at the 14.
Check. Lucky. Rush in.
Hey, 0-0-0.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 17-yard line.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now it's Wilson. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 10 yards and a Seattle first down. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Kill. Check 26, check 26.
Gun.
Reset. 58's the mic. 58's the mic.
Yeah, let's get set.
They'll run on first down. It's Love. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 26-yard line.
What?
53, Mike.
Guys, it's game situation. Let's go.
Now Wilson. From the gun, he'll throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Aaron Lynch has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They run again with Hines. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. They'll run with a former Tar Heel, T.J. Logan. And he is going to lose yardage here. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They face a critical third down now, needing a score here in the late going.
It's our field. Go. Field. Hey, it's our. Hustle. Pick the edge. Go.
Right there. 54. Right there. 54.
From the gun, here's Brissett. And that is incomplete. He has had a great game defensively. He's been east-west, north-south, everywhere.
Yeah, and I love how you described that, because to be a great defender, you have to be able to move up and back, sideline to sideline, and he's been fantastic. Reminds me of a young Charles Davis when he was playing Madden.
Absolutely. Oh, wow. I thought you were going to go on the field, but okay, I see you. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He's been terrific so far. And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's upended at the 6 as they double their room to maneuver on a pickup of 3. 3 yards is the pickup, but it leaves them still needing 11 here on third down.
Mike, 58, right there. Watch the run.
Here's Love again. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
What we got?
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now. They go down to a knee and a sigh of relief as they are into the win column for the first time this year. So the victory here for Seattle, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a game, but when you quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you